Man, you already know what it is. Jay Williams, let's live life, and we're back. Man, life is crazy, right? So I finally get caught up with work. One step closer on making my exit out the door. I'm on my Ice Cube status, right? Today was a good day. And then I dropped my phone. So if you notice like a little rainbow, a little glare, that's because my screen had chunks missing out of it. I'm the worst with phones, man. This is phone number 3 this year. And I can't upgrade. Like, there's nothing to upgrade to. Being a YouTuber, I've got to have, like, the best possible phones they have out. So now, I placed my claim. And I'll wait for the new phone to show up and deal with this glitched out, cracked up. But anyways, one of the biggest reasons guys get to fighting while locked up, the phone. Females. Man, that ain't your dog, if she's not yours. A lot of women. Now let me say this, because I don't want to disrespect any women. There are some strong women out there. There really are. I've seen them. There are some women that are ride or die. Will lay down by themselves, eat dinner by themselves, cuddle with the cat, sleep with the dog, whatever it may be. There's some women out there that hold their men down. Unfortunately, there's more that don't, but say they do. I've met those dudes that in the beginning everything is sweet, right? Maybe we're gonna get through this. Hey, you got me, I got you. But he wasn't on the street. He was dogging her out on the street. Now he needs her. Now he loves her, right? She should have been his best friend when he was home. He should have been loyal when he was home. But now he's gone. And now he wants to try to play the loyalty card. So now he wants to be the nice guy. Baby, we got this. Come on, man, I ain't talking about nothing. Couple years, I'll be home. She be done dried up by then. And the next thing you know, he goes to call one day. He's done gotten into a routine. And she ain't answering the phone. Instantly, his demeanor changes. Instantly, his attitude changes. He starts lashing out. See him poke his chest out. He's confused, he's hurt, he's dazed. The phone got him going through it. I've seen it 1,000,001 times. I'm guilty of it myself. He gets off that phone. Let me get the phone after you. What's he do? Starts dialing again. Come on, bro, you disrespecting the phone line. You clicking again. He dials again. He dials again. Meanwhile, you got these other dudes that actually got people that gonna answer the phone, and they're starting to feel some type of way. He's in his feelings about a female, and he's holding the phone line up. He ain't gonna dial that number but so many times before somebody checks him and puts him in his place. He ain't gonna do that but so many times before violence comes into play. Got a whole bunch of these. I've had more than my fair share of fights behind that phone. I was one of those guys that would get disrespectful behind the phone. Like, if I need to use the phone, I'm going to use the phone. And if you feel some type of way about it, then do what you got to do, and then I'm still going to use the phone. Not saying I'm tough, not brolic, not Brody, not the biggest dude in the world. I just stand on mine. That's what we're doing today. One of the biggest reasons guys get to fighting, the females and the phones. I hope you're ready to be entertained, because this right here, this is as real as it gets. More than one time, I rumbled, and I would rumble again. Rumble tonight, come out and do the same thing with the phone tomorrow, and rumble again. But like I said, once that female comes into play, your mind starts playing tricks on you. You know there's somebody else, but she's denying it. You hear him in the background. Habits switch up, things change up. It'll quickly drive you crazy. She becomes the only thing you have, and you're losing that. You've lost everything else. You've lost your freedom. You've lost all the other options you had in life, and the one thing you still had, the one thing you were still holding on to, which is her, is fastly slipping away. With all that being said, you know how to seen it. You know how to lived it. So, let's relive it. This is crazy. I got that phone. And then I got this phone that's missing a whole entire camera. I'm just bad with phones, man. All right, so let's go back in time real quick. I'll be the first to say it. When I caught my charges, I wasn't straight up. I wasn't. I did what I wanted, when I wanted. I had no regards for anybody else's feelings or emotions. I was a street dude. Now, we say we live by the street code, but is there really street codes when it comes to females? Like, I don't think there is. I think in reality, we're loyal to all the wrong people. We're loyal to them dudes that'll steal from us. We're loyal to them dudes that'll stab us in the back, smash your girl, set you up, backdoor you. And then you're disloyal to the one person that really loves you. You're disloyal to the woman that'll ride with you through anything. You're disloyal to the person that knows all your secrets, has been there for you to cry on her shoulder. Like, she knows you. She knows whether you brush your teeth, if you got deodorant on, if you got stains in your boxes. This woman knows you, yet you're disloyal to her. Boom. You get locked up. Now you need her. Now the ball is in her court. You've been doing her wrong. I knew I did. The girl I was with when I caught my case, I've been with for a long time. And I'll call it like it is, man. I'm not going to sit here and talk about what she did. I'll talk about what I did. I was disloyal. I crept. I did this. I did that. Like, I would leave out that door and wouldn't be no telling when you would see me again. Sometimes I'd be home the same day. Sometimes I might not be back for a week. I was a crud boy, y'all. I wouldn't explain myself. And over time, she just got used to it. She expected it. She knew that if she asked me where I was going to just pretty much on some, come on, man, don't be questioning. You know, I'm out making money. And I would always return with, the money and always get back in the bag. But she also knew, because she had caught me cheating so many times, that's most likely what I was doing. I didn't try to hide it. I didn't deny it. I didn't lie about it. I would honestly tell her, don't ask questions you don't want answers to. I'm a street dude. I'm out here. You know what comes with this, man. I'm not telling you got to be a part of this. This is something you're choosing. Like, if you don't want to be with me, don't be with me. So I get knocked. And right before I got knocked off, I got locked up. Me and her had the separation, right? Not to mention that we had separated before, and in that time span of us separating for a couple months, my son was made. So now you got this woman that I've been with for all these years, and now I've got a kid with somebody else, something me and her didn't even have. That's a hard pill to swallow right there. I think that might have been the nails in the coffins, right? So I get locked up. I try to call. Nothing. Now I'm seeing another girl at this point, but I'm still trying to run game. She ain't answering. After about 8-9 months, I almost beat my case. I don't really talk about this. I almost beat my case on a speedy trial violation. That means they have a set amount of time to get me to trial, to get me tried, or I can beat it on a violation, on the fact that they violated my rights. So my lawyer, this dirtbag, this piece of garbage, he backdoors me. He gets with the prosecutor and cuts a deal. Hey, let's get him out. If we get him out, that handles the whole violation, the whole, speedy trial violation. So he comes to me one day and he says, hey, I can get you out. Can you come up with this amount of money? Yeah, for sure. I go in, bond here, and boom, I get it. I'm coming home. My bond is posted the same hour, right? So around the 9-month mark, right before I'm about to beat this whole case, because they messed up on getting me in the courts, getting me tried, I get bonded. Now I go to work at the strip club, and I end up start dating this chick at the strip club. She was the door girl. She wasn't a dancer. She was the chick that gives you ones. I would check IDs. We worked in close proximity. I told her when I met her, I've got trial coming up. I've got some serious charges. I don't think she understood the severity of the case. I'm going to be there for you. I'm going to be there for you. I said, yo, they're going to send me. Like, if I'm found guilty, I'm going to prison for a while. I got you. I would never do you wrong. I would never betray you. Whatever it takes, I'm riding with you. Sure, you're right. I go to court. Boom, they lock me up that day. Right then and there. Like an hour and a half late. Wearing a wife beater, gold chain, big old gold chain, pair of black Sean John jeans, pair of Timbs, fitted hat. You got to think this is a long time ago. Take me straight into custody. I would not see the streets again for another 10 years. I called from the jail that night. She's upset. For the first few weeks, anytime I called, she was there. I got used to it. Even though in my heart of hearts I knew she would disappear, I was lying to myself and telling myself that she would be there. Then I called one night at my regularly scheduled program time to call. The time she knew I was going to call. Same time I always called. And she ain't answer. Why she ain't answer the phone? She knows I'm calling, like. So I dial again. She don't answer. I've got a line of men behind me waiting to use this phone. I continue to dial. Now, I ain't no dummy. And dialing that phone over and over and over, I know what comes with it. I know the rules. I know the game. I know that you get what we call one click. One click is you click that receiver, you make your number, and if you don't get through, you pass the phone. If you keep dialing, there's a whole entire line of guys behind you waiting to use that phone. Each phone call is 20 minutes. There's only so much time once we come out the cell at night until we lock back down. So if I'm dialing and dialing and dialing, these dudes are in line. Some of them aren't going to be able to use the phone because by the time it gets to them and it's their turn, it's going to be locked down, and we're in for the night. So when you start playing with the phone, you're not just playing with the phone, you're playing with everybody around you that's waiting to use the phone. Now, I guess you could call it some entitlement issues. My cell, I was in Riverside Regional, right? Anybody knows about this jail's layout knows exactly what I'm talking about. My cell was directly under the staircase, and right under the staircase was a phone. So the way the phones work is first come, first serve. Dudes started trying to flip the phones upside down, leave them hanging, meaning I got the phone. I'm not respecting none of that. If I get to that phone before you, I got that. So dudes knew that I would get to the phone first because my cell was the closest cell to the phone. So dudes would call after me. Hey, Jay, let me get the phone after you. And then they would, hey, let me get the phone. And a line would already be established before we even got on the phone. So I start clicking. Dudes, what are you doing, man? Come on, man. You disrespecting the phone line. I'm in my feelings. She's not answering this phone. This has got me out of my element. This is going to end bad. I know better than to have any type of emotional attachment to a female while locked up because it is 100% going to end bad. It always ends bad. I click about 4 or 5 more times and then I realize I'm making a fool of myself. Dudes starting to get rowdy, and I don't hang the phone up because they're getting rowdy. I hang the phone up because I have respect for the phone line at this point. I haven't completely gone off my rocker yet, right? It's coming. I let them use the phone. I say, hey, let me get after you. I find who's last. I get after him. It's right before lockdown. I call. She answers. Damn, girl, why you ain't answer the phone, man? You got me here ready to fight with dudes over this phone. I'm double clicking, dialing, like disrespecting the phone line, holding up the phone line. Get me jammed up behind this phone. I hear a voice. A male voice. A familiar voice. It's my homeboy. Another one of the bouncers from the club. I said, yo, what is he doing? Oh, he knew I was upset. He came by to check on me. And then I hear her giggling, stop, stop. I said, yo, what is y'all doing? Oh, we're not doing anything. He's your friend. Don't think like that, Jay. He's being a good friend. He come by to check on you. Right there in that moment, I knew. I went in the cell. My cell is trying to talk to me. I said, man, I'm really not in the mood for talking. Man, Jay, don't let that phone jam you up. Mind your business, man. Now, they hung the phone up. The jail will, without any notification, just click on you. Like, when it's time for the phones to cut off, they don't warn you, hey, phone's about to get cut off. I'm in the middle of, what you mean my homeboy is at your house trying to console you? Oh, this is all bad. She's going through it. Her man is locked up. He's over there trying to console her. So I'm super in my feelings. All night long, this is on my mind. I got to get out the cell in the morning and get on that phone, man. I got to talk to her. I got to make things right. This girl, I was loyal. I had never stepped out on her, right? I've been in jail all that time. And I said, if I get out and I get involved with anybody, I'm going to treat them right. I never cheated on her. I never spoke to other females. Other females had tried. And in trying to be a better person, I turned them down. So I really felt some type of way that I was being played because I had never played her. And this was a new thing for me. That following morning comes around, I rush out. We ain't even eating chow yet. It's 6-something in the morning. There I am, old Sammy Sausage Head. Old Willie Lump Lump, looking stupid in the face. Dialing the phone over and over and over and over and over. And I'm disrespecting everybody in the line. It's this tall black dude. Hey, man, I got the phone next. You're not going to click that phone again. I look at him. I hang the phone up. I start dialing. Oh, you think I'm joking? And this ain't no Floyd Mayweather. He's just a typical everyday dude. He doesn't strike any fear in my heart. You're a man just like me. There ain't nothing you can't do to me that I can't do to you worse than I can't do it first. So he tells me, man, you better not click that phone again. I hang up and I start dialing. He's saying something. I said, and if I do what? What are you going to do about it? My cell's right there. Oh, you ain't said nothing. He shoots up in the cell. I drop the phone. Leave the phone hanging where it's at. I go in the cell. As soon as I go in the cell, I realize real quick that he didn't go in there to fight. He went in there because he was frustrated, but he starts trying to cop what we call pleas. He's copping deuces. Look, man, you can't be BAM! I'm in my feelings behind this phone. I take off on dude. We get to tussling, we get to wrestling, we get to rumbling. My cellmate sees it. He's over, getting his breakfast tray, and he's grabbing my tray. He takes off in that direction, trying to stop us before I draw attention to the cell, and the guards come. And he comes up in there and he breaks the supposed support. I'm still snapping. The guard overhears it. The guard's up there serving trays. The guard comes in that direction. Luckily, we're underneath the staircase. Dude sleeps a couple cells down from me. He slides out into his cell before the guard can get to the cell. Not to mention, there's a whole bunch of people in line, so the guard's trying to watch and make sure guys don't steal extra trays while he comes and addresses this fight that he hears taking place. He gets to the cell. My shirt's ripped. I'm taking my shirt off, putting another shirt on. My celly's telling me, hurry up, the guard's coming, the guard's coming. Meanwhile, the phone is still hanging there, right? I come back out. Dude's down in his cell now. We didn't fight long enough to really do any damage. Just a couple little wop-wops to the face, couple little just that type of thing, right? I go back to the phone. At this point, I'm playing myself. At this point, I'm making people very, very angry at me because of this phone. This girl does not realize the position I'm putting myself in and that she's putting me in by having me in here locked up with the worst of the worst playing games on this phone. I will continue for the better part of an hour. Other dudes have started to make comments. They know I've already got into a fight behind the phone. I've done other stories on fights behind the phone, but this is new for you. I continue to dial. She don't answer. Over the next week, I get into several different verbal altercations. I go to a couple different cells trying to call dudes out, but no fights spark off behind it. Dudes see it for what it is. Man, he's tripping over this girl. He's tripping over this phone. I get through on the phone one night, And she picks up. Finally. I done called probably 1,000 times. I done chumped myself. I've played myself past the point of played. And now when she answers, I'm angry. I'm big angry, right? She tells me, Jay, this ain't gonna work. Like, what did you think? And she's mad at me. You got all this time. You left me out here. Had me believing we were gonna be together. Yo, I told you about all the time I was facing. You said you was down to ride. Well, I can't do this. I've still got to know what's up with my homeboy. Why was my homeboy at the crib? And she tells me, I'm going to be with you. Me and him are talking. I said, so he's smashing. You know, that's the first place a man's head goes, is he smashing. I said, so you letting dude smash? She's like, we ain't together no more. That's not none of your concern. We're dead middle of a conversation when she says, Jay, there ain't nothing else to talk about. Good luck. Maybe when you get home, we can talk about this. But you got too much time. As she hangs up the phone, I go straight back into dialing. I'm dialing. That same dude I got into it with over the phone, I guess he wasn't too impressed with the little fight we had. Starts running his mouth again. Oh, you ain't learned the first go round. You're just gonna disrespect everybody again and again and again and again. And he's standing in front of my cell. So I grab him by his shirt. He grabs me. We get to tussling. I push him. He pushes me. We wrestle our way into the cell. We go ahead and rumble. This time we rumble. We get it all the way out the way. To the point my cellie comes in there and he's like, Jay, stop. This dude is catching something that does not belong to him. I'm way beyond being in my feelings. I'm way past being mentally disturbed. I'm all the way crazy right now, and it's all due to this phone. I trashed dude in the cell. Ain't nothing to lie about. There was a whole bunch of people in there when it happened. You jump in the comments section. I trashed dude in that cell. I hurt that man. He ended up checking in. Well, I'm not going to say he ended up checking in. I split his eyebrow and it required stitches, and they had to close it up, so he couldn't get it to stop leaking. He had to go to the guard. They got medical involved. They couldn't figure out what had happened to him. At the time, we had this camera right in the middle of the pod. We called it the eye in the sky. It was dead center of the room, but half the time it didn't work. Half the time it was turned off. Half the time it was being worked on. We never really knew when it worked, but a bunch of fights had jumped off in this short period of time, and nobody had been caught due to the camera, so I knew the camera didn't work, right? I don't know what he told him because I wasn't there, but he makes up some story. They're not believing it. They lock him up pending investigation. They come around and they start checking hands. They'll do what's called a hand and feet check. Take your shirt off. They want to see if anybody's got any bruises on them. You know, yada, 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 yada. The guard, his name was shout out to Sam, the coolest guards I ever met down there. Comes by and he starts at that end of the cell. When he gets to my cell, he sees my knuckles. My knuckles are, they're not doing so well. They're all knotted up, swollen, like just, they're messed up. I got past injuries to my knuckles because of fighting. He sees my hands, and he gives me that look. Now, the other guard is looking at my cellmate's hands. He looks at my hands. I look at him, like just giving him that, damn, don't say nothing look. And he shakes his head, and he walks off. And they continue checking hands. Actually, two other dudes ended up getting locked up behind this because two other dudes that got to fighting, both of them had marks on them. This is unrelated to what I had going on. They ended up locking two other dudes up behind this fight that me and, I ain't gonna say his name, me and the tall dude got into, but I didn't get jammed up. That's what happens when you lose your mind behind that phone. You're gonna get into it. There would be more situations after that. Because my ex, not the one I've been with a long time, but another girl I had been seeing on and off the year prior to me catching my case. The girl I spoke about a couple months back that OD'd and died, rest in peace to her. She returned, and she was down the ride. Once again, I let that phone get me. Once again, dreams of not being alone started dancing in my head. I'm back to disrespecting people behind the phone. I've seen people get poked up, sliced, cut, stabbed, done real, real bad behind that phone. Looking back on it now, I'm lucky. I'm lucky, I'm gonna say that much. I lost a fight. There was a total of 4 fights I got in while I was in there. I'm not counting the one with the same dude twice. I'm just gonna call that one fight. But there was a total of 4 different dudes that I got to fighting with behind the phone. And I was in Riverside for a long time. Been known to spend long amounts of time in that jail. But on that stay, 4 different fights behind that phone. And once I got to prison and I seen somebody really, really wear the consequences of playing with the phone, that's when it dawned on me how close I'd come to getting hurt, all behind that phone. As you can see, I'm in a whole different outfit. It is a whole new day. That would be the video I recorded and then dropped my phone and broke. Luckily, I was able to transfer them videos, save it to the cloud, do this, do that, and get it over to this phone. And now I have to do the outro. But let me give you just a great week I've had, right? Today is now Saturday, and you'll catch this today on Saturday. But yesterday was Friday. Payday, payday, payday. You know I got to get my guys paid. So I'm on one job, right? And I get called off of that job first thing in the morning. I got to rush across town to this other job. Now, my brakes had been making this noise, so I had plans on having them serviced this weekend. I'm doing about 60 miles an hour when I realize I have no brakes. My brake line has busted. So I push the pedal all the way to the floor. Truck's not stopping. It's slowing, but it's not stopping. I almost died. Make a long story short, almost died. I end up getting my other worker who was in this truck to get in front of me. I said, you stay in front of me. That way, if something should happen, we come up on a light and I have to wreck, at least I hit my vehicle into my vehicle. Like, I don't want to hit nobody else's cars. I'll just wreck into my own stuff, which is going to suck either way. Not trying to wreck, not trying to damage none of my trucks, but that's what it'll be. Got the truck back to the shop safely, where it's now sitting, and the mechanic's going to come fix it. We got family coming in, friends/family coming in this week. Jersey, I believe. So we've had landscaping crews here at the house. It needed to be done, and it was a lot of work. You see, I'm dirty. Been out there in it all day long. But yeah, that's the phone. I got more fights than I even like to admit when it came to the phone, because it was stupid. Sometimes it's hard to let go, man. Nobody wants to be alone. I think all of us have that fear of just being alone. And I did end up letting the girl go that I said that died. She tried to be there for me. She gave everything she could to be there for me, and I would not allow it. I said, nah, I can't go into prison having no girl, because the way I'm acting over this phone right now, I'm going to get myself hurt. And there were some times that, hey, I said I fought 4 different times. I didn't say I won every time. There were some times that I took mine too. I took my lumps, you know. Took them and got right back up and would act the same way behind the phone again. But let me give you some good advice. If you ain't ever done no time or you got some time waiting ahead of you, respect that phone line. Don't go in there and be focused on what that girl out there is doing in the street. She's going to do what she's going to do. If she's going to be a good woman and hold you down, that's what she's going to do. If she's going to shack up with your homeboy and have kids with him and get married and be laughing and giggling when you call, messing your head all up, that's what she's going to do. My advice to you is, if your relationship ain't strong, this is a new girl, and you just can't really see her being there like that, let it go. Let it go before you get yourself hurt. Had this have been the right person, I'd run across the right dude, he wouldn't have said a word. He'd have done what I've seen happen before. He'd have walked up to me on that phone while I was dialing and would just started burying steel in me. And he'd have walked off, left me laying there leaking. Never to talk to anybody again, to lay there and lose my life all alone, all in the name of trying not to be alone. Sometimes we just got to accept our fate. Don't you go in there trying to disrespect these dudes. Do not do anything I said in today's story. Do not go in there and start redialing on the phone and double clicking. You're asking for trouble. And I found trouble time and time again behind doing that. If y'all enjoyed the phone stories, you let me know. I have so much more graphic ones, some ones that type of stories that nightmares are made of. Really, really messy, we'll just say that, messy stories that came from somebody playing behind their phone, especially on the holidays. Christmas, things like that. Don't you get on that phone and think you're going to play. And you got other men waiting to call mama, waiting to call their kids, and there you are just dialing, whoever you want to, like don't nobody else matter. Anyways, these jails, these prisons, these penitentiaries, these phones, these females, they're all just crazy world inside of a already crazy world we live in. And as always, y'all know what I'm doing. Just trying to keep y'all entertained. Are you not entertained? And like always, this is Jay Williams. Let's live life. And to all my real ones, and there are some real ones watching, because y'all still watching me. And y'all know how we do. Salute. I got y'all work to do. Happy Saturday.